All right, podcast time. Yeah, the After Show podcast.
Here we go.
So I'm going to have to get rid of my weird tick where I always say it's the After Show podcast, fact, blah, blah, blah. Because we're doing things a little bit different now. We're going to do a week in review podcast. So every Friday.
Just every Friday, we're going to get together on the old Zoom. Do something
as much as we love fact and opinions, it's, you know, I mean, who needs us every single day? That's not fucking good for anybody.
I know.
So
it's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a little too much of us. So week in review, we're just going to hit on the three, I think, main things that happened this past week. So let's get right to it. Week in review here with Brock and Hunter and the Plan B Morning Show. Number one, that story about George Clooney turning down $35 million for basically a day's worth of work. Now, if you remember, he got asked to do a commercial for an airline. Well, he talked with his wife and he went on public saying like, well, the airline is for a country that, although it's allies, we don't really agree with them all.
Agree with some of the things that they do, blah, blah, blah. Here's what you do. You do one day of $35 million and you donate that money, bro. That's what you come on.
As soon as you said that, I didn't even think about that. You brought that up when we talked about this during the week. That's fucking perfect. Exactly. Take the money from them and then go donate it to a cause in that country.
Right. But nobody's going to look bad at you or look down on you if you do that.
You know, it almost is more of a, it's almost like Robin Hood. All right. He stole from the rich and bad and he gave to the poor. But no, Mr. Rich, people's most handsome guy of the year. Like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm too good for this. Blah, blah,
Take
blah.
the money.
Yeah. Well, I like the one part in his quote. He's like, if I lost even 1 second of sleep, it's not worth it. Well, you know what? You don't lose sleep anyways because you're already worth millions of dollars. You jerk.
Yeah, it's hard to lose sleep when you're sleeping in a giant golden bed.
Yeah. He actually sleeps on gold bars like Scrooge McDuck. You know? Unbelievable. So, yeah, I was a little off put by that. I like George. He seems like a nice guy. He does a lot of like stuff for people.
Common sense, though, George. Come on, man. Take that money. George. Here we go.
Good God. And $35 million. Hell, give me $50 if you want to, hand out some money, man. Cripes. I'm broke, George. I'm broke. What else did we learn this week? Oh, how about this?
It was a short week, though.
It was. I was. You were out one day, and then I was out one day. I think we still covered a lot. How about this? I have a third nipple, and
yeah. There you go. We talked about that a little bit. That weird thing that you got on your.
Should I show it? Should I show my third?
I don't want to see your weird third nipple. No. Keep it away. Keep your shirt on.
And I never thought. I wasn't sure I did. I actually just found out it's actually not a full nipple. All right, it's not the full on areola nip and. It's like just the tip of the nip, and it's right.
That's weird, dude. You got a weird thing going.
It moves. It moves. You can put ice on it, and it gets hard. No, it's not that. But the only reason I found out was like 2 years ago. I was the doctor was doing the full checkup. All right, take a deep breath. All right, cough, turn your head and cough. I'm like, hey, doc, real quick, what's this? And he's like, oh, that's just it's like a third nipple.
Right.
What? I've gone 35 years not knowing I have a third nipple. He's like, yeah, you see, it's in your nipple line. And apparently we have a nipple line.
Or milk line, you were saying, wasn't it?
The milk line. Yeah, a milk line. That's it. Yeah.
Which is even more weird.
Which is weird. Well, I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Yeah. You and your weird nipple. We learned that this week.
Oh, dude, there's another thing I got to tell you. This is so funny. This happened the other day. So we're starting to introduce, speaking of human milk and milking humans, we're starting to introduce our daughter to solid foods just a little bit. And when I say that, it's basically mush. You know what I mean? You get like the pureed pears and carrots. Well, there's this oatmeal that you can get. And then the directions are you can mix it with formula and water or mix it with breast milk. Well, Kiki, my lovely wife, the mother of my child, she mixed it with breast milk the other day. And so she's sitting there feeding the baby. And I'm like, oh, and so I took my turn. She's like, oh, this is really good this time. And she fed it to me. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. She goes, yeah, I mixed it with my breast milk. I'm like, Jesus, lady, tell me.
God, dude.
So I can say that I have had my wife's breast milk.
Yeah. Congratulations. That sounds disgusting.
It was good. It was good. Have you ever hooked up with a pregnant chick, Hunter?
I don't think so.
Years beforehand, no. That was one thing we did have to watch out for when we were still getting frisky when Kiki was pregnant. Actually, even now, because if she got those things full of milk, I'm going to end up taking a shot to the eye.
It's disgusting. All right.
It's just
I'm officially grossed out.
Hey, we've all eaten breast milk for the most part.
I know, but I was a child and thirsty.
You were on those titties.
Jesus.
I was a child and I was thirsty. I was a grown man and I was thirsty.
Apparently.
All right. So there was a lot. That was a lot to unpack. What's the last thing as we do this week in review? Maybe one more thing to wrap up this week.
Talked about a lot, man.
What about the guy that used a flamethrower in an argument with his neighbors?
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Another fun.
Flamethrowers are crazy. I just saw another picture online because maybe we were talking about it. It popped up, but yeah, you can buy these things. There's a picture online where they had a few of them on a shelf. It's like, what do you use them for? What?
That's the big thing. And I think you brought that up when we read this story. So long story short, this guy and his neighbor down in Florida don't get along, and they were having a dispute over parking. So what the one neighbor did was took out his flamethrower and shot it at the neighbor's car. Obviously, that's going to get your flamethrower taken away. Kind of like when I took my slingshot and I shot it at my brother. I got my slingshot taken away.
Time out. You get it taken away.
With flaming gasoline or diesel fuel, whatever they have. But you brought up that point of like, what is this applicable for?
What
other
do you need it for?
than,
burning beehives and clearing your driveway of snow. I can't think of it.
But maybe, even then, though,
do you say clearing a bunker in Vietnam?
That's it right there. Like, all right, there's like 3 applications. But also, too, you don't want to be that guy in your front yard with a flamethrower trying to get the beehive down. That's not going to end well, right?
No.
You get stung by a bee, you start flinging the thing around, that's going to end horribly.
Sketchy. It's just sketchy.
Yeah. Of course, you and I did get to shoot a flamethrower once. And Hunter, awesome. I mean, I'll never forget that. I'll be an old man on my deathbed. Like, remember that time?
It was one of the coolest things, man. It really was. Awesome. When they say don't play with fire, that's like the complete opposite of that phrase right there. It's like here we're going to play with fire, but not only we're going to fucking play with it, we're going to shoot it out of a gun, 50 feet this way.
This is recklessly playing with fire what it is. Yeah.
It is dangerous.
We've taken fire and we've now made it propelled. That's what it is. Yeah.
Propelled fire.
Yeah. It's throwing flames. That's right. It's the flame thrower.
It is dangerous.
So cool. So cool. But if I could own a flamethrower, I definitely would own. And I would find it. I'd be calling friends. Hey, do you need me to burn anything? Like, is there anything like there? Like anything. Like cardboard.
Can't start this fire, man.
I'll be right over. I will be right over with my fucking flamethrower.
It'll start.
I think that's good. So Clooney, my third nipple in flamethrowers. That's a pretty good week in review. I'll take it.
Week. It was a great week.
Fantastic. All right, buddy. Well, let's get the hell out of here. Thanks everyone for joining us for your Plan B week in review. We will see you next Friday and tune in because we'll wrap everything up in case you missed it. All right, later. Shit, I missed the button. Hold on.